ago. The sunlight, now entering through our ceiling, escaped from the surface of the sun. Every second, 564 million tons of hydrogen are converted to 560 million tons of helium. The remaining 4 million tons radiates away each second as heat and light.
Hello. How are you? Just 1 second there. Now we just get rid of that fucking screen share. We don't need that there. That's Mandela effect residue stuff. I'm going to probably even close that one. We have Gerry. Gerry's here. Hold on there now. Let me get the old camera on. Make sure we have all this. Hello. I'm here. Look at me. I'm here. And we have the guys here. Where's Gerry? Get over there. Look there. Then we also have you, the Gerry, here. Now, let me get you on here. It's a Dark Wolf Dan.
Hey, how are you doing?
Hello, sir.
Today?
I'm great. How are you? How are you doing?
Thank you.
You're looking very summery there.
Yes, sir. It's
What's
getting
going
hot up
on?
here in the hills.
Oh, is it? Let me get some graphics going here in the background so we're all going tripping. Ooh, you ready?
Ooh, there we go. Look at that.
Ooh. So,
loving it.
We are one of them little balls on one of these little things, and eventually by the end of this show we'll be over there, up there, and across over there, and all that stuff. But anyway, God bless you, Gerry. How are things where you are?
Not bad. A little hot up here in the hills today in the last couple of days, but it cooled out a little bit today compared to the last couple, but
right.
Yeah, not too bad. Just been sweating my ass off. That's about it.
Well, that's okay. You can do that. You can do that in private. As long as you don't do it in public and make it. No, I'm joking. Anyway, let's not go there.
Right. Exactly.
So, I see you done a show last night on AJ's. Was it Rippin' Rabbit?
Yes, sir. We did our State of Mystery series. We got a new series we've started. Every week we're going to go through a different state in the union.
Okay.
And encrypted stories and possibly ghost stories, but I usually kind of switch to ghost stories out for something like Alaska. They had the Alaskan Triangle. Arizona had the Stardust Ranch.
Okay.
So if it's some kind of big something in the state, I'll usually skip the ghost story to go with that. But if not, I'll default to a ghost story of the state. But every state has a cryptid. Every state has a UFO story. Every state has a ghost story.
Yes.
So I figure I can cover those one state a week, every week. That'll get me 52 or 50 weeks, 52 weeks, whatever,
Some say 54, some say 50, some say God knows. Yeah, well, there's endless stories there. Anyway, there's endless stories you could continue on.
And let me be clear: the reason I say 52 is the 50 main states, Puerto Rico and Guam.
Yeah. Well, just one big massive country to me. Just cut it up.
Right.
As busy as you want. Looks like. Have you now? Here's just speaking of America. Have you noticed any geographical changes in it lately?
I can't say that I have, but I don't look at a whole lot of maps. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, the reason why I say because I've got a map on either side of me, so it's in my peripheral vision all the time. On two maps on both sides. So I notice when one goes and the other one hasn't, and then the other one changes slightly, and so on and so on and so on. But I did notice a little bit about Canada is breaking up there a little bit more. But as you go on top of Russia, there's bits and pieces on top there as if like the north of near the North Pole breaking off, or there's some sort of whirlpool underneath. It's all kind of spinning around. It's almost as if some of the countries are just spinning like that a little bit, rotating. But it could be the tides. When you're looking at a landmass from above, it looks different when the water's up. It looks like a completely different, shape and all. So you have to take that into consideration. But it doesn't change in my maps, though. You know what I mean? So how can you explain if it changes on your maps?
Yeah, what's crazy is when something changes on Google Maps, because you can digitally change Google Maps, but when you get a change on Google Maps and you get that same change on a physical map on your wall, then you got an issue.
That's when there's shit going down. There's a few things I've had in my possessions that have changed over time. Even actually some of the older videos that I've done, some of the residue that I took photographs of had changed on my video to not residue, but there were still residue in the book. I'm like, what the fuck's that going on? But then I went looking for the book and I couldn't find the book anymore. I'm like, oh shit. So it was like, it's almost as if, you know what, I'm going to see if that's true. And I got to a certain point and then I couldn't find the book anymore. I'm like, shit, now I can't cross-reference the boat where it was wrong. Is it my memory? Is that almost as if you take that bit out of your possession so you can't, reinsure your own mind, cement it and say, oh, well, that's correct. So why the fuck's that going on?
So I work with a younger generation, and they're awesome kids. Don't get me wrong. I've got nothing bad to say about them. They're amazing kids. And one of them yesterday was talking to me, and he knows I do the Mandela effect shows, and he knows I'm really into the paranormal. And he says, hey, man. And he says, I got a Mandela effect for you. And I thought he was messing with me at first. He said, you ever play the game Dark Souls? No, I really can't say that I personally have, but I know a lot of people that have. He said, all right. He said, there's this creature in there called Finner. It's a great big wolf. He said, I remember this wolf having swords all in the body. It's all stuck in it. Turns out that's not the way it is. He got to that part in the game again. He's like, wait a minute. The swords are all around the wolf, but they're not stuck in the wolf at all. And then his buddy, who was sitting right next to him, my other desk clerk buddy, he said, you know what? I think I remember that too.
Right. Okay. So a meeting of minds, you've kind of came across the same thing in this. Oh, wow. Okay. So have you looked into it?
Well, even if I did, he pulled up the scene he showed me, and the wolf or the swords aren't in the wolf. Yeah. I can see what he's like. He remembers, but it's not the way that it is.
Yes, I get you.
So,
okay. Wow.
If anybody listening plays Dark Souls and you remember what I'm talking about, maybe you can back me on that one. I don't know. I don't know either way because I've not played the game. I couldn't tell you.
I think we're in a computer game ourselves, so no one's listening. It's probably another computer game listening to our computer game while we're talking about computer games and all that kind of stuff. I'm joking. Wow, that's a lot of changes in games. A lot of residue in games I found. I found a lot of residue in Rockstar games. They brought out that was the fucking Grand Theft Auto ones and all them kind of ones. When they updated the Grand Theft Auto, there was one. I think it was San Andreas. I think that's the one of the first ones where they had a secret place where you could travel all the world in a place and go around looking at sort of Easter eggs, and some of them had the British flag residue, and some of them had the what's it called? Her had with her hand up, this woman here.
Well, Statue of Liberty. I can easily explain why the video games would have so much residue in them. And the reason for that is the fact that the video games are made just like the hand-drawn art is made from the artist's remembrance. Yes. So the artist is drawing out the way he remembers it. You know what I mean? So when I'm creating a video game, if I'm trying to create a British flag, I'm going to create it as I remember it. If I'm trying to create the Berenstain Bears, I'm going to create it as I remember it without looking at it usually, I know what it is. I know what I remember,
Yeah, of course.
So, I mean, it goes back to the art aspect. Just like we find a lot of residue in hand-drawn art, and a lot of that residue is the residue that sticks around.
Yes. It's like the artist rendition. I looked into the artist rendition part as well, where with the British flag, it's easier to put symmetrical than it is, bring it in the lines, because it's easier in a printing press. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just having it one line and having a production line. But I went into Greenwich Village, and a guy there professionally draws sports cars and motorcycles and stuff like that. The rally cars, all the old rally cars. He's amazing at it. He has his own stall in Greenwich. I asked him out of memory. I said, "Don't look at your old pictures to draw the Ford, just the F on the Ford." And he drew it like that, just the one straight across. And I went, "Now, can you look at your own pictures?" And then he went and looked at his own pictures, and he went, "Wow." And he looked, and he said, "I don't remember drawing it that way before, but now you say it, I do remember drawing it that way." And I'm like, and now he knows, every time I see him now, he knows about the Mandela effect. And I brought a few other people to see him as well. But he's been doing it for like 50 years, drawing with pencil drawing, beautiful, absolutely gorgeous stuff, And straight away, I just, out of the blue, just popped up and said, out of your own mind, just draw an F there on a piece of paper. And he drew it. And he couldn't believe the pig's tail. And then it kind of sunk in. It almost went into his memory. Oh, now I remember. As if he got the MK. But
the download, yeah.
Yeah, but he's still now aware of the Mandela effect, the Volkswagen one as well. I made him, you have to wake people up to this stuff, I suppose, don't you?
Well, I've known people who've gotten the download, and I think we all do.
Oh, we all do,
theory. Yeah. Here's my theory on the download. And shout out to JJ out there in the chat. He said, "Hey, Mark. Hey, Gerry."
I see him there, bro.
But yeah, here's my theory on that. So I think we all get the download. I do. I think every single human gets it. But I think us Mandela affected it for whatever reason. It doesn't install, if you will.
Yes.
We're able to access the information therein, but it doesn't install. And the reason I believe this is somebody will present a Mandela effect. And before they tell me what the change is, I'll take a guess. Oh, it's A's changed to E, or these changed to and, or so, And then I'll listen to what they claim the effect is. And 9 times out of 10, it's exactly what I guessed. So I figure I'm pulling the information most likely from the download.
Yes.
But it has it installed in us, say, Mandela affected. We kept our memories.
I break it down to an analogy like this. So we have 2 CPUs, 2 computers, right? In the Mandela effect community, we have 2 CPUs. We have our normal brain, which is our left side, and our the different. So we get both. When we're looking at it from a Mandela effect, the other computer's overloaded, going, you know what? It's like this now, but you know what? Your memory is so solid we can't break that code to get into that computer. So we can't even. So we just fill your memory up with other stuff. So you've got dual memory. Is that what we call it? Sometimes we call it dual memory.
Right.
But our memory foundation of the Mandela effect, the conspiracy theory, is so solid out of our memory that we believe that, not that we're right, because sometimes we are, sometimes we're not. But I think it's hard to take that away and download over it, would you say? So that's all you see, because we see both sides of the coin, if you know what I mean. Sometimes, if that's another analogy. So yeah. It's almost trying to fill up 2 computers, but I think our logical brain as a conspiracy theorist is too hard to crack that code. They just have to fill you with other information and bombard you with other shit, like just everyday shit, to make you not think what you think, if you know what I mean. Maybe just a theory. We're all talking theories. Hi Hobbs, how are you, brother? It's good to see you, man. Theory, we could talk theories and theories and theories and theories and theories. I done a video the other day there from 5 years ago that talks about CERN playing games with the Hadron Collider for the last fucking 5, 6 years, 10 years. And they got bored. They found that God particle. They told everyone they found the God particle. And they said, now we've got a fucking big, massive machine. We're just going to throw anything into it. And they did. They were throwing bits of people into it. Bits of all sorts of stuff, and they were actually playing games and see who could find the God particle quicker, and they were just throwing fucking all sorts of shit into it, which just goes to show that they might have thrown something into that made such a fuck up that they haven't noticed it because they're standing right in front of it, but everyone behind them has noticed the fucking disaster because they're not in the area, if you know what I mean. They got the full download straight away, so they don't notice it. Maybe if they're throwing all sorts of elements into it, they're playing with fucking God, you know what I mean? Or so they say.
They are definitely playing God with the universe, and it is very scary what they got going on over there.
Well, if they
Um,
say that they have the God particle, they know what everything's about, then, yeah? In a way.
That's the particle that supposedly gives everything mass, according to them.
Well,
Now,
that's what we're all built up of. Yeah, that's the God, that they call it
right.
the God particle. But, you know, the God particle's been on TV since the 60s. Since TV was invented, it's been there in code. It's actually in a star constellation as well. You know, if you look up to the stars, if you look at the chemical imbalance, it's fucking sitting right in front of you. It's in Good Will Hunting. It's in The Simpsons. It's in The Simpsons 10 years before they founded in CERN, for fuck's sake. The God particle as well.
Actually, there's a reason for that one. That
Why?
wasn't just a chance thing. One of the
I know.
creators was friends with some of the guys that do the math and stuff and are
Exactly.
into like
Yeah,
CERN.
yeah. So that's
He
that's
actually
right,
put that on the chalkboard himself as if
Yes.
Homer were drawing it.
Yes, yes,
Uh,
yes. Of course.
And it's incomplete too.
Yes. Well, but you have Good Will Hunting, right? Then you have other references as well. You have A Beautiful Mind. He writes it out as here's a funny good
Dude,
a beautiful mind, right? Where he's sitting there, he explains that he writes on a window in the first 10 minutes of the movie. He explains he's sitting in a window looking at a person getting mugged, and this is what he's drawn. This is a dot where she follows her, and it's actually the God particle sitting right in front of you. And he explains it as to his flatmate as, well, she started there, she walked there, the mugger came this way, got her here, took her bag, he went this way, she went this way, and it's actually the God particle in dot. And he explains it as if someone's mugging someone. I'm like, well, you fucking genius, man. Wow. And the only reason I knew it was the God particle because I'd literally seen The Simpsons about 2 days beforehand with that episode in it, and I'm like, that's the exact same pattern. You know, why
Wow.
Jesus, that's nuts. But, you know, that's just too much science. If we start thinking about what that is, then you break that down to mathematical equations, then your fucking head is in one of these bubbles, isn't it? That's what they want you to be doing. So let them do what they want. As long as we're still alive, we're still kicking, and we're still doing what we want, we have to figure it out, don't we?
Well, I mean, that's the funny thing. According to the scientific models and according to the number crunchers, what we claim to be the Mandela effect is impossible. It can't happen. No. Reality can't just flip.
No.
Reality can't. It's all set in stone. Reality can't do that.
No. Well, how long has reality been? How long has reality been around? As long as we've been around. As long as everything has been around, reality's been around.
Since the Big Bang, right?
Since the Big Bang. Well, imagine if reality had consciousness.
So that is exactly what I imagine, Mark. My whole concept of reality is the simulation idea, but not on a computer.
Yes.
Instead of the base, yes, instead of the base being computer chips and electronics and all that, I really believe the base is a base consciousness, a consciousness in which we are all connected. Absolutely. So under the particles, under the electrons and protons and neutrons, and under the strings that supposedly vibrate to make the particles, I believe the consciousness of what makes the strings that vibrate, that makes the particles, that creates the world that we see. If everything is based on consciousness, then if you change your mind, you can literally change the world.
That's right. Yeah, yeah. It's kind of like, you know what, this thing in the background reminds me of what it could be. You know, we could be underneath that veil and in one level all together because it's one big long sheet. Because someone explained to me today, you look at a wave in the ocean and think it's a different part of the ocean, but it's not. It's still the ocean. The wave is still the ocean. It's still one. So maybe we are just waves in an ocean, but we're just individual waves. You know what I mean? Crashing against each other every now and again. And sometimes we divide into each other, and sometimes we get in, and you know, we vibrate together. But when we don't, we clash like a fucking dreadful ocean. You know. So consciousness. Yeah. The reason why I taught that to myself is, if reality has a consciousness, well, isn't it only right that if consciously it would always want to exist in some shape or form? It would never let itself not exist. So it would be conscious of everything that's going on, and it would never let anything get to a point where it would destroy it itself.
So you're assuming that the consciousness would have self-preservation qualities.
Self-preservation society, consciousness of the universe. I'm sure there's a song in there somewhere, you know.
I think there's a 4 or 5 songs in there somewhere, my friend.
Well, let's not start singing on the middle of the show. But imagine if it did.
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. We don't want to make the ears bleed of our audience
here. Poor old Gerry here is ready to go to bed. He's in his nightgown. He got an earring, by the way. He went out and got an earring.
Very nice.
So he's called cool now. He's in with the kids. He does miss you, by the way. He's like, oh, look at Daddy, I got an earring, but it says who I am and all, so I'll never be lost. It says my name has my identity.
I love it, Jerry.
So he's always got his identity now. Earring to his ear.
Great to see you, Jerry. And Alan, where's Alan? How's Alan doing?
Alan's here. But these two guys are having an argument, right? Now, here's the argument. Here's what I say. He looks like he's a younger version of this guy, right? He keeps telling me, now this is Bruce Wayne, by the way. If you haven't met Bruce Wayne, this is Bruce Wayne. I know he wears a bat suit, but that's because he's nuts. Now, I reckon if we just done this and gave Alan a go, he could be a Jedi Batman. So, I don't know if it would work like this. So, I am actually the first person to do this because Batman there now is pissed off. Alan Batman's pissed off. But I think we could do a crossover where we could have a Jedi Batman. What do you reckon? So we could have a Jedi Batman. So this is Luke. This is Alan Skywalker as Batman playing Batman, but it's actually Alan playing Alan Skywalker playing Batman, and so on and so on. And then we can go into he could be playing Ben Affleck playing Batman. Or he could be playing anyone. So what do you think, guys?
Well, here's the problem. The Jedi and the Star Wars, they already incorporated the black capes. Remember, that was the Sith. That was the bad guy.
Yes. But
so he looks more like a Sith than a Jedi with that.
Well, he could be. What did he say? He said he could be anyone. I'd be anyone you want me to be. But do I look good in this? Does my arse look big?
So the arse don't look big, but yeah. I would definitely say he it does fit him better. It fits him better.
And then we have Bruce. Bruce. So
Bruce got a black eye over there.
He's like, look into my eyes. I am not Batman. Actually, we've just given away Batman's identity, so that's the end of that. So Bruce Wayne, you follow all that kind of movies, Nolly. You follow the superhero movies and
somewhat, yeah.
And some of the stuff, there's Paul, the Black Sheep researcher, doing a bit about the constellation that looks like an S up there, and all the spaceships sitting in the constellation S, and the superheroes going to come and whatever. I was thinking about, I showed a video last night, the $6 Million Man. Do you remember that? Remember that program?
I do.
So that's what we're going to be getting. I think that's what's going to come. We're going to get someone like that says this is what he is. He's a $6 million man, but he's actually a $1 billion man. He's here and he's to save us all. He's a superhero. He's immortal and whatever. He's a man-made one, but let's pretend he's from up there.
Right.
And we could see maybe something like that, or mechanized, but they all exist anyway because robots exist, yeah. So it looks like some of these superheroes are pushing this, not as in pushing, but Superman is the god.
Well, since you bring it up,
yes.
Tomorrow is actually here in America supposed to be a pretty big day. Because tomorrow's the day that they're supposed to release the UFO UAP document.
Oh yes, they've had so much time.
Now, supposed to being the operative word, but it's supposed to come out in June. It is the end of June. It is scheduled for June 25th.
Had 30 days,
and even according to the Alta reports, it would be out by early July, mid-August is when it would start to have an impact. So by tomorrow, that report is due out to the American people. Now, I don't expect it's going to say a lot. Don't get me wrong. My hopes are not high for this thing at all.
Mine are.
But the fact that our government is going to come out and give an official statement one way or the other on this,
they have to,
is gargantuan.
That's it. But if you look at the media in the last month it's been snippets and snippets. All CBS, all these mainstream American media now are leaking footage. Now I have the UFO International, and that has gone up 10,000 people in 3 months. So you can see people are coming to these channels, to these Facebook groups, and footage, and people are sending people footage there. But I can look out that window at any moment and just see a UFO. Now, the way I can go look at that UFO, and you go and see, oh, it looks like a UFO, or I can just go like that and switch the camera in and go, what do you see? Because if you point them out, you can't. It's hard to say
Right.
that. It's harder to say, well, what do you see when you're trying to describe what I see, if you know what I mean? So it's a lot of go ahead.
Defining UFO as unidentified flying object and nothing more, not aliens, not humans, just
Unidentified,
identifying as that. Yeah. So no, not yesterday. Last week, I took a walk into my local town. Now, my town is tiny. I'm not gonna lie. I can get from my front door to the middle of my town in 10 minutes walking. My town is tiny. So I was walking into town and I got into a dark area. It's middle of the night, which I like the dark areas of town. Don't get me wrong. It's not a scary story.
Oh yeah, okay.
Stars, and I'm opposed to the star field, you know. And I finally see this one light moving at a steady pace. Not rapidly, just steady.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point, it gets kind of almost behind a tree. And then I look again, and I can't tell if it's turned or what, but there's this really bright light, almost like a spotlight coming off of it.
Okay.
And it ended up again behind a tree, and I lost it. I never seen it come out from behind the trees. I never seen it again.
Wow.
So as far as being unidentified, flying, and an object in the air, I seen something the other day. Now, I can't say that it wasn't a helicopter way up. I can't say that it wasn't an airplane way up. I can't say that it wasn't aliens. I can't say what it was or was not. And I'm not going to jump to conclusions, but I do know I seen something that was a little odd.
I'll show you something a little odd if I can. Just for a second. Let me just give it. If I can get the full screen there for 1 sec. Now, so let me just press play on this.
What the hell we got here?
There's something odd right there.
That looks like the Phoenix craft. Why is the Delta spinning? That's odd for a Delta.
That's on my phone, by the way. See, between the trees, as you say. You can see
I completely see it.
and this is actually up on my channel as well. I have this. There's a few other ones. You can this one on the mountain is, you can see it just there at the top. That is about the size of 3 buses. Maybe a bit more. It's a big, massive Tic Tac, and them mountains are
Pardon
massive.
me one moment. I have a call I have to take.
You go do your thing there, no problem. Just talking about UFOs. There's as you can see, that craft is lifting up. That is about the length of about 3 buses. Looks like a Tic Tac because them mountains are quite big. A lot of this kind of footage is coming in. Some of it's older. This one seems to be older footage. But you know, the one previous to that is like there's Egypt. That's Egypt. That's over the pyramids yesterday. Over the pyramids yesterday. So, but there's.
Where'd you get that footage at?
Off one of the UFO groups. But this one is the most scariest one. Watch this one.
That one kind of reminds me of the ones that were in Pocatello, Idaho. I'm watching.
Watch that one. Look at the lights there. This is over the ocean. Look. That's it. They're on an airplane, and that's lights over an ocean.
Huh.
Hear that noise? You hear that noise? So that almost sounds like it's a fucking, you know, a Goliathan or something in the fucking sea, but it would look like lights, ships, either suspended over the ocean or you know, in the clouds but looking down. It's weird fucking shit. That is
weird, dude.
Biggest oceans in the world. They do say something hit that the other day. A massive black UFO entered the Indian Ocean 3 days ago. Massive, like as in
like mothership size.
Like motherships. No, mothership size is the size of England. The length of England. That's mothership size. The length of this fucking whole country is what their motherships are. Maybe even bigger. But here's another one. Wisconsin the other day, 4 days ago, there was a UFO crash in Wisconsin, and the UFO jets and all, or the jets were in on top of it, and within 2 minutes. 2 minutes, a UFO was seen coming in near Wisconsin, coming down, crashed. There was a lot of flames, but smoke coming out of it. And then within 3 seconds, the UFO there was three jets over, and it's on UFO Man. If you go to UFO Man, he has it up there. There's loads of them, almost as if some of the craft that Mr. Trump and his space force is they're pushing it so far they're actually crashing now, because they're pushing the limits of the engines. That looks like the engines are failing and they're falling out of the sky. The jets are coming in, clearing the space and getting rid of the craft, getting rid of the people in it, and then fucking doing the Men in Black thing and going zap, and off you go. Maybe, but there's a lot of that stuff coming down. It makes me wonder: is it our own craft failing because they're pushing the technology that they're trying to re-engineer to the extent, or is it all just a fucking, is it all just a play to make us think that there's UFOs up there? We all think that too, don't we? We have to. We have to.
I really believe there's UFOs up there.
Oh no, I believe
in my mind about
the ones we see. That's what I'm on about. Sorry, to put you back on the screen. The ones we see, falling out of the sky. Are they air ones, or are they their ones? Because surely
let's be honest. I know the people say, "Wait a minute, this is an alien craft." Surely they've got enough sense to build a craft good enough that when it gets here, they're not going to fall out of the sky. They traveled so far. Well, I think that's what I was thinking. I think that's a bit of a misnomer.
Yeah, I was thinking
I do.
so. Like,
because
how could they travel all the way across and then come and crash on our fucking planet?
I think that's a bit of misnomer.
Yeah.
Because what if we took our ship? What if we had a ship that could travel light speed, right? Say we jumped off to another planet. And when we get on this planet, there's life, but they're using a different type of radar than we use. Same idea, but a different version, a different frequency, different way. And it's just happened to be the frequency that fucks up my navigation system.
Exactly. You don't know what's on the other side of that dark black hole, so you don't know what kind of physics, what laws.
Their technology could be based on different tech than ours is, and our tech could interact with theirs in such a way that turns it off, that fucks it up.
Like as if, here's the thing, that's an easy way. Imagine if you went there and their whole planetary system was actually indeed in water. Nothing electricity that we had bringing into water. We know how water. So imagine their air was more consistent of water and dampness, so everything electric would just fucking fry out. But they have now, don't they have fucking silicon chips that are just like fucking gel with fucking nanotech in it. They stick it to anything. They can even throw into water, and it can give you the full feeding of the whole fucking ocean by putting a few drops in it. Nanotech, they can go into the DNA of the DNA of the DNA of the DNA, and so on and so on and so on. So, but then again, they can't show you the crystal clear picture of a star just above you, but they can show you what a DNA cell looks like, and a DNA cell, if you know what I mean, through a microscope.
Right.
So it makes you think, what are they hiding in the telescopes? Lucifer, for one, the most biggest fucking and most powerful fucking telescope in the world, in the Vatican, and they come out and told everyone that now in the last couple of years, I think last year, that it is possible that there are other beings in this realm as well as our own, and that are higher than us, but not as high as God, obviously. And they came out and said that just to cover their own arses, I suppose, in a way.
Well, think about this. What is the next logical conclusion? So they come out and they say, all right, guys, yes, there are ships in our sky that don't belong to any government that we know of. They also don't belong to us. And we can't say they're alien, but we definitely can't say they're human either.
Well, yeah.
Say they're from outer space, but we can't say they are either.
Well, yeah.
Well, they can't say they aren't either.
I think they're gonna say. I think if they are gonna say anything, just to shut everyone up, they're gonna say they're interdimensional travelers.
Well, what is the next logical conclusion, though? So if we already know about them, the hiding is gone. The next logical conclusion is we're going to meet them, regardless if they're interdimensional, interplanetary, or retarded. I ran out of words though.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But we're going to meet them. That's the next logical step. If the question is already answered, yes, something exists. Yes, it's not us. Yes, it's in the sky. Well, the next logical step is yes, here they are right here.
Well, what if the next logical step is, you know what? Just look to your right there. There's one sitting right there.
Yeah.
And then you
That's
look
what I'm
at
saying.
me.
They
Then you look
could
at me, and then I go, "Sorry, am I an alien?" Yes, you are a hybrid of something else. So half the population.
That's
are gonna
exactly what I was
you're
going to say.
brought,
They could.
you're brought here from via the Mandela effect in 2015, when half of you think you went from one university to the other. We actually brought you from there consciously to this version because we didn't want you to fucking die. That's the end of, and there you go. That's our guardianship. So you actually are in a new version, and we keep pushing you on up the level every time your existence fails, and your consciousness just keeps going and going and going and going and going and going.
Like the Energizer Bunny.
Yeah, like the Energizer Bunny with something energizing him. Probably not coffee.
So
Maybe.
that does make a good point. So in realities, if we are considered ourselves conscious travelers, now again, I made known two ways. This is not my favorite idea, is the multiple universe theory.
Yeah, I know,
But if that be the case, then we would literally be aliens in the universe that we end up in.
Yes, exactly. That's a lot of us people believe that we don't, the Sagittarius arm and all that kind of one, where some people believe it came from that place to the other place, and then when you look into CERN and that destroyed where we were, and what happened was we actually just, our souls moved to the next version of ourselves. Our conscious souls moved to the next version up, which, because there's multiple versions of ourselves, because it wasn't our time, because we are the generation to not fix things, but to see things differently. The Mandela effect generation pushes the UFO forward. The UFO pushes the UFO. I actually asked on the UFO, man, I'm so proud of this. The guy, the son of the guy from the Project Blue Book, or you something to do with that. He was on the show with UFO guy, and I asked him, "Do you think the Mandela effect since 2015 is that his name?" Yeah. So I asked, and he said that he's not too sure, but it's something that they haven't not thought about. That since 2015, the Mandela effect has changed people's mind, has brought so many different people to the UFO community as well via the Mandela effect. Do you think that's a ploy from the aliens to make us consciously level up quicker? In a way, we have to see it, or do you think that in 2015 that the aliens were involved, or some sort of higher intelligence was involved to move us? And you know what? It was the question was asked, and he gave a straight up answer. So it's someone in the higher community of the UFO know all about the Mandela effect, but he don't talk about it. So it is a big subject in the UFOlogy part of the the world as well. So don't think that if you're Mandela effectian, just look at a ufologist. They're probably Mandela affecting as well, but they talk more about UFOs than they do Mandela affecting, because a lot of people think that we're one community. We're not. We're fucking everywhere. We're anyone you talk to on the street. One out of every 10 people you see on the street knows about the Mandela effect or believes in UFOs. Guarantee, and you can connect the both of them as easily as saying CERN, or mentioning one name of a ufologist, a famous ufologist that also studies the Mandela effect as an alternative reality version of ourselves. So there's a crossover there. So don't think you're alone if you the Mandela effect community. We're multiplying, almost doubling. We're almost doubling, would you say, year by year? Do you think?
Oh, easily. And I personally would not attribute the ME to aliens. That's just not me. I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong.
I'm trying to cross over.
I get what you're saying there. The
reason why is because with the Mandela effect eyes I have, right? I see residue. Also, if you put that on top of UFO, ufology as well, it's almost having a 3D version of it, because I always cross-reference them straight away as if I'm doing maths in my head. See if there's any consequences, like a UFO crashed there, and then the Ford garage shut down, and then the Ford fucking sign.
Right.
Something like that, or the bell, the UFO bell. The consequences, did that fucking crash into the Volkswagen factory? Is that where he made it, and that's where he changed the whole Volkswagen? Is that where he made the actual bell in the Volkswagen fucking factory? and that just blew up time, and that's why the split is it. All that shit I try to look into. So cross-referencing, there's always connections, like these little dots down here. There's always a connection somewhere. And in my mind, I make them anyway, even if they don't make any sense.
And that's fair.
That's fair enough. What more can you say? What more can you say? You can't argue with a madman.
You said it, not me.
You were doing the Mandela Effect conference. That went ahead this year, didn't it? How did that go?
So we haven't done a conference in 2021. We've been doing these mini conferences, these open tables, as we call them, the I Make Open Table Show.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't had an official conference. We're still waiting to see what the world's going to do. Like, I don't want to, for instance, my personal take on this. This isn't from the board. This is my take on this. This is the way I think we kind of all are thinking without having told each other this. Again, I'm making an assumption. I'm not putting words in my board member's mouth. I just want to make sure for the audience I'm very clear here.
Yes.
I'm not putting words in my board member's mouth. Here's my personal opinion on this. So we are an international Mandela Effect group, a conference. And that means a lot of people from around the world would love to come. Well, you know, right now they've got that funny little rule.
Oh, I know
if you
the rule.
don't get the
magnet.
Yeah, if you don't get the magnet, then you won't be able to get on the plane. Well, I'm not going to put anybody in a position to where if you got to come to my conference, you got to get that magnet. No. I
understand. Put it off.
So I think, personally for me, that's one reason we haven't really scheduled one.
The online ones though how many of the table ones have you done so far?
So we're up to, I think the next one is number 5.
Okay.
We've done one a month every month, last couple months. I want to say since January, but I could be wrong on that.
Okay.
January, February. But we started doing the open tables in early 2021, and we've been doing that ever since. And we usually have like a theme, a topic we're going by, something in reference to the Mandela Effect.
Okay.
Opposite, I often speak to colleagues about what they remember. They're absolutely amazed when I tell them that now what they remember has changed.
Yes, of course. That's a lot of stuff that I used to do. I used to go about called Mandela Effect smacking people, and one of the better ones that I found using was this one. So I'd go and say to him, "What do you remember? Do you remember this one or this one?" So which one do you remember? Now most people would say all gold, yeah. Yep. But now it's a bit uneven because this one is bigger than this one, if you know what I mean, as in size. So they're obviously going to pick. I don't know. It's almost as if I'm saying pick this one because it's bigger. But this one now is actually what it is. So most people pick that. So when you tell them that they're actually wrong, as Hobbs said, they are amazed when they go back and actually look at the movie. That's when they see it. I wonder if you never said to them that is now silver, would they only see that? I don't know, because look at when we find the Mandela Effect, though. Aren't we just as amazed? Well, yeah, we are in a way, but you know what? I'm not shocked by anything. I wake up in the morning and have a fucking horse's head on my head, and I wouldn't just say that's the Mandela Effect. So it doesn't. I don't think any of them ever shock me anymore. But as Hobbs said, when you see that jaw drop for the first time, when you say to someone and they go, it's called the Mandela Effect, and they almost near enough go straight to the phone and put a reminder into it's almost as if you can go, well, I know what journey you're going down. You're going to end up in 15 Facebook groups. About 10 years down the line, you're going to be in a real Facebook group and find out what kind of a bit of a core of it is. But God bless you, sir, and I'm so happy I was here for your first step.
Yeah, exactly. There's a couple of few that I've done that too. A couple I've explained, like from the Berenstein all the way up through Jiffy and all of them. The maps. Every now and then I'll get a customer that I can bust that out on, and it's funny as can be.
Here's a weird one. This guy's got a white glove on. I don't know what's happened there, but he's one of them buster ones. He's like, oh, I can bust a move. Imagine he did actually end up with a white hat. There's a weird one. His palms went black, didn't they?
It's white hat C3PO. Yeah, so I hear. His
palms are not black on this one, and there's loads of pistons on this ones and other ones that are all changed. And now he's always had this thing on the back of his head, which I think Matthew Reed mentioned out the other day. It's on this one, it's on that one. It changed, but here's one that's going to change. Around the back of his belt, I've always said he's changing, but no one ever looked into that. Anyway, there's the Mandela effect part of it. There's because we did put Mandela effect in the title. So let's get back talking to UFOs.
All right, we touched the Mandela effect. Fuck that.
Hold on, let me give you some residue just to say that we gave you some. There's some more. It's a nice little money box.
Oh, look at that. Look at it. Now, it's funny because the vans are the ones that hold the residue. Now, I don't know if that's the way that was or only the vans had it printed like that.
Do you know what? That's some artist rendition. I have loads of these. I have another one here. Look.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So there's my two little there's a little bit of residue of other ones there and books and shit like that. But
Hobbs follows up with all my colleagues my age remember Sex in the City and Dolly's braces. Dolly's braces, without question.
There's one that brings back memories. Dolly's braces. Then the advert that he done, Jaws, whatever his name is, with the receptionist.
We're gonna need a bigger boat.
We're gonna need a bigger boat. That's another one, yes. And there's so many references to that one. Let me ask you, what's the latest one you've heard of?
That's a really good question. We just did the iMake show yesterday. We had now one thing I have been seeing, and we've been noticing a lot through iMake, and we've been tracking a little bit, is actually three different things. Number one, we're seeing a lot of white animals with blue eyes. Now, let me be clear. These are not albino.
Okay.
Albino would have the red eyes. These are creatures that are coming out white, pure fucking white, with blue eyes. And I'm talking from crows to a number of creatures we found over the last couple months. Another color we're seeing in creatures is gold, with this golden timeline. We've been seeing all kind of gold creatures pop up, which is really intriguing.
Okay. Gold and blue, you say blue?
Gold and white.
White,
blue eyes.
Blue eyes, okay. Why is everything?
But the most intriguing of all three, and what I tracked for about a year that really intrigued me, and I'd find roughly 30 a month at some points, and that is these. We've heard of coming back from the dead, these people that die double deaths, and Nelson Mandela and Billy Graham, and the ones that die multiple times.
Yes.
Well, the animal world has something like that too. You've got these creatures that have gone extinct that have all of a sudden showed back up from extinction, and I'm talking like 30.
Oh yeah. I get you. I know what you mean.
We're seeing a lot of creatures suddenly reappear from the brink of extinction back into reality. Just like the ones that are dead that have come back into reality. Rainbow mountains, rainbow trees. How did I get my age and have never seen this? There's
some ones as well, the rainbow colored ones. Just to go on the animal ones, I mentioned this in, I think maybe our last show or a couple of weeks ago, that, a lot of creatures are going to start coming back because if there's something going on down there, the creatures are going to come up out of their little holes. And then we can see there's a lot of shit going on in the world, a lot of volcanoes, a lot of eruptions, a lot of fracking going on. I don't know if you noticed, in Europe right now, there's storms in the last couple of weeks of storms. There's sinkholes happening all over the fucking place. And I mean, massive fucking sinkholes. And I don't know if you've known that in the US.
Gargantuan.
They're massive sinkholes. And you know what? These sinkholes are perfectly fucking circular. They're perfectly round, as if something is going to either go into them or come out of them. I don't know what they're about. But listen, there's loads of them going on. So, I don't know.
They almost look like boreholes.
It's weird. It's like fracking. Underneath, some people, I don't want to get too much into it, but some people say that there's underground cities for things that shouldn't be going on, that are being interrogated, being blown up, and people being run out of them right now. And whoever the poor unfortunate people who had to live down there for so many years are now coming up in certain places of the country, and people are popping up in parks and other places. But what it is, it's almost as if it's a cleansing underneath the world, which are getting rid of all the fucking, let's say, dirty scumbag bastards that shouldn't be down there doing whatever. So that's, if they are blowing up them places down there, well, obviously stuff's going to fall in. But you think to be safe about it, why would they be so circular as well? It's almost as if it's a planned thing. that they were put there, and you can use them for a couple of thousand years, and then we'll fuck these out, and then the aliens or whoever's coming can use these underground tunnels for whatever they want. But that's just
a lot of people believe that could be the case, that there are groups of good guys that are taking care of groups of bad guys
all the time. Yeah, like interdimensional warriors doing it here. Super soldiers down there doing it the same as
I think you hit it on the nail the second time. That's what a lot of people claim is you got these supers down there.
Absolutely, we're cleansing the world.
And again, I say they claim. I'm not saying I believe it one way or the other.
I believe
I'm just saying that's the claim that's being made.
I believe it well and truly.
Well, I'm not going to take a side on that. I'm going to say one way or the other.
I also believe that it's not only happening here; it's happening in a lot of places. That and maybe in alternative versions of ourselves, we could be doing it right now instead of sitting here talking me and you. We could be sitting in the middle of a battlefield with a sword in each hand and just having a chat because we're bored. You know what I mean? Let's sit down and talk about the Mandela effect. But we don't know what other versions of ourselves could be doing if there is other versions of ourselves. But we know that there's something else going on somewhere else, maybe. I like the way I put the maybe in there. And, we're all here to try to figure it out. And it's fun trying to figure it out, because without the Mandela effect, without this ufology stuff, without all this conspiracy theories, what would we be? Would we be bookworms? What would we be? What would we be? I don't know what we'd be. We'd probably we'd be still conspiracy theories. But what other conspiracies is there? So
political.
Many political conspiracies. Well,
I don't even touch those. You couldn't pay me to touch those.
No,
see, back when I first started YouTube, I used to do a show with a guy named Uni Rock. And Uni Rock's a pretty cool guy when he wants to be.
When do you want to be there?
But we were doing conspiracy. Now, we went our separate ways. I went into paranormal. Love it, by the way. I went into paranormal. He went off into the whole political conspiracy realm. You couldn't pay me to talk about the stuff that he talks about.
Okay.
No way. He's had his channel shut down multiple times. He does nothing but make enemies constantly. What he likes is drama, and he likes to report on drama or have more drama. Or
yeah.
Not my style, but he does more of the political side. So we used to go down the same road. He went this way, I went that way. You can judge for yourselves as far as where we stand, whatever. But you couldn't pay me, man. You couldn't pay me to talk these political conspiracies, especially not on BitchTube.
Oh, BitchTube.
Also known as YouTube, BitchTube.
I thought you were on about that one. I want BitchTube because I'm on BitchTube as well. Let's just make it go. Okay.
No, not BitchTube. No, I mean the BitchTube called YouTube. The fuck stick.
This is a lot of that bollocks. This platform, YouTube. If you don't know by now, you're shocking. That's all I'm going to say. You're shocking. You thought I was going to say something really so bad, but I just went with shocking. Yes, so on the BitchTube, you won't talk about it. Not for all the money in the world. Fuck that, man.
Not on the BitchTube, no. Now over on BitChute or any one of those others, I don't mind. But over here, no, I'm not going to get your channel canned, and I'm definitely not going to get my channel canned.
Listen, I got my first strike this morning. I went on to do. It doesn't matter. Listen, I came on this morning. I done a bit of a show. Within about an hour and a half, my stream got taken down. I got a strike. I appealed it. Within 1 minute, I got the decision back saying no. You got a warning now. Done. I also tweeted them today, and they came back and said, it looks like, and I said, it doesn't matter what it looks like. You're not going to help me anyway. I don't even know why I've asked you, but can you look into the last channel that I've asked you 2 months ago to fucking look into the appeal about? And they just blanked me straight away. Big shout out to Tommy Tell the Truth. Hi, Censored Tube. Let me give you a wrench, Tommy. There you go. User wrench. We also gave Hobbs ones there as well. I like to have a blue crew.
It's funny. Me and AJ were having an issue where they wouldn't let us post our own links in our chat. They wouldn't let the channel owner, they wouldn't let the mods, they wouldn't let nobody. So I went to YouTube or went to Twitter. This is back before I got rid of my Twitter and told Twitter they could stick it up their twatter. But
Yeah, that's what I nearly said today. Yeah, go ahead.
But anyway, I went over to Twitter and I was like, hey, I'm having this issue on my channel, and another channel is also having the same issue. I never mentioned who it was. I said, and another channel, and told them what we were experiencing with the links, as if they didn't fucking know, but you know.
Of course they know, man.
All of a sudden, not only did my channel get fixed, but AJ's got fixed magically too.
Wow. You know what? I asked them about my first channel, right? Because I asked them about my first channel and from my second channel, because my first channel I couldn't get it, so I had to do it and give my URL. And then they started the two accounts were on the same email address. So that's when I started getting strike, and then that's just the failure 2 went down. Now I've been appealing that for the last 2 months. I've sent several emails and a few tweets. And you know what they end up doing? They end up asking you on Twitter to hit a link to appeal. Now, you say that you've already done that and you've done everything you've done and you're still waiting. And then they send you a private email and ask you to rate their service. You know what I mean? Without an answer, without nothing. So it's almost as if you were in a bucket of shite with AI who all he can say is fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. So you may as well be in a bucket of shite with nothing.
Right.
I can't get over that. How can they look at an hour and a half show within 30 seconds and then say, oh, you know what? Our decision is right. You went over community standards. It's spam. I was having a bit of a fucking bit of crack this morning, as you do. It went a bit weird for a minute, and then it went back up, high vibes, and then it got taken down. So there's no community standard violations at all. It's their rule, or that's it. And whatever they take you down for, they'll make a rule up by the time you appeal it.
Yeah,
say, well,
it's their rules, and they make those rules up as they go. They're pathological fucking liars. They're little fucking bitches. And because they think they're too big to fail, they're going to do whatever the hell they want and fuck
it's
you.
Going to be the new, you know what, it's going to be the new, actually, YouTube is going to be like just regular TV, you know?
YouTube will go the way of MySpace. It's going to take some innovation. It's going to take a little bit for something new to come up. But YouTube will eventually go the way of MySpace, because when you decide that your customer means shit all to you,
yes,
then your customer is going to tell you where the fuck you can go.
Exactly.
And what they've done is they've decided that you and me, we're not worth their time in business anymore.
No, and
their money now comes from mainstream media's bullshit.
Yes.
So that's fine. We left the TV to go to YouTube to get rid of the mainstream fucking media.
And now you're bringing the mainstream media
has come to YouTube. Guess what? The people are going to leave the fucking YouTube. Because they didn't want the mainstream media to fucking begin with.
And now they're using the same kind of politics on YouTube as the mainstream.
YouTube will go the way of MySpace. It's going to take a while. It's not like next week YouTube's going to fail.
No, of course not.
But it will happen. Mark my words.
They have the majority of the people there anyway from the day one. But you know, here's what I want to ask. If you're making money for them, so if you have a monetized, a monetized channel, and you're making money revenue for them and yourself, do they fucking leave you alone then, or what the fuck? Because
no, then they really nail your ass.
Do they?
See, here's the thing. I can get away with a lot more. I can get away with a lot more not being on monetization than I can being on money. Because on monetization, they've got you by the balls. Oh, we'll just take your money. It's like your allowance as a kid. Well, you messed up. You're not going to get allowance this week. It's the same thing. They've got you by the balls. You're going to say what we want you to say, and you're not going to say what we don't, or we just aren't going to let you get paid by us. Well, that's fine.
Yeah.
Then I'm not going to get paid by you, and I'm going to say whatever the fuck I want to say.
Yeah. You know,
now iMac, we are monetized. iMac, I have to be careful, but iMac is a whole different beast.
That's a whole. I'm trying to do that with MF edits, right? I was going to do MF edits. I just put my edit stuff on it, and I'm lucky enough to be able to have this channel and a few other channels to put my videos up and see if they're blocked or if they get a copyright, and then put them onto that one and get no bruises on that account whatsoever. And if I get up to a monetization, well, you know what? If someone wants to fucking give me money and I just throw fucking 10 videos, because I make 10 videos a day anyway. If someone's going to throw me a tenner a month for doing that, fuck it, fair enough. I'll let someone else deal with that politics. You can fill my email inbox up with all sorts of bullshit. I don't give a shit. As long as you give me a tenner a month, I don't give a bollocks or whatever it is. But is it true that if you get one strike on one channel, you can't monetize at all? Then is that right, or is that the way it goes?
That I don't know. Again, I've not played their monetization game enough. Back a couple years ago, well, quite a few years ago now, I got the monetization. Then I wasn't monetized 2-3 weeks, and they moved the goalpost. Said, "Oh no, we're gonna move it out here to where you can't reach it." So I reached it again. They said, "Oh, no, we got to move it again." And they moved it again. And
that's a touchy subject with you. I remember having a conversation.
Twice they unmonetized me.
Bastards.
So I finally decided if I ever reach that level again, fuck them. I won't play the fucking game. I don't give a shit. So YouTube is nothing but a fucking bitch. I was making money on D Live until the Capitol building bullshit. Tell me about it, Tommy. Tell me fucking about it, dude. All this fucking censorship bullshit. Let me tell you, any site that censors will die. Actually, it's not going to happen tomorrow, like I said, but they will die.
We're live on D Live now. We're live on Twitch. We're live on Facebook. We're live on Twitter, and we're live on YouTube. But to the Zucker bitch over there at Facebook, fuck you. To that Twitter over there, you can stick that Twitter up your twatter, Jack. So fuck you too. Anyway, this show seems turned into a fuck YouTube. Let me get these lads. These guys love YouTube. So let me have these out and go, fuck YouTube! Fuck you! I'm Batman! No, I'm Batman! But I'm Batman! But he's really Batman with my Batman! I'm Jedi Batman! So fuck YouTube! Fuck YouTube! Fuck YouTube! Fuck YouTube! They just wanted to get in there, and Gerry goes, well, hello there. I would like to say fuck YouTube. So he says it very elegantly, like the other guys are just excited. So once we just move on, and we all know that YouTube are a shower of cunts, and if we could say it any other way, we would. And before we get taken down, what is the Capitol building bullshit? What was that about? What happened there? This is probably going to get us pulled down either, but what happened with what's that about?
There were a group of people that were accused of breaking into a big building.
I remember that now.
Bless me. It's hard to break into a building when the doors were open. Thank you. When the doors were open for you, but there were people that were accused of breaking into a building, and things happened, and it's still in question as to the truth of the situation.
Well, everything's in question to the truth, isn't it? Well, I remember it now. Yes. Okay. So that demonetized, you see, I don't look into all this money stuff, and money's there, and it's not of it, and it seems to be almost. You have to set up all these steps, and then you have to keep an eye on all these steps to make sure that the money's going through. And it's extra tweaks that I don't want to tweak yet, if you know what I mean. I can do them in the future if I wish.
Well, the good thing is if I get kicked off YouTube, if I were to lose everything about my channel, I don't need YouTube. I'm on the radio. I'm on literal terrestrial FM, AM radio waves.
He's an extraterrestrial on the radio. Is that what you said? No, he's
close enough. Close enough.
Exactly. Close enough. He's ET on the radio with the red fingers, and so he doesn't care about YouTube.
The only reason I go on to YouTube is to try to let people know, hey, look, we're here. If you want to watch us on YouTube, hey, we exist.
Yeah, we exist.
But I don't need YouTube.
No.
I have the radio either way. Unlike most people rely on the YouTube. Without YouTube, they don't have the platform unless you go to
I could almost do a song there of radio killed the YouTube. Radio killed the video star. So we could change it so it just fits in with YouTube.
The first one was video killed the radio star.
Yeah.
Now it's radio killing the video star.
Yeah, that's it. That was the MTV one, wasn't it? That was the first song there.
Yep, Video Killed the Radio Star was the first song ever played on MTV.
And that was on your American one. The first song on European MTV was Dire Straits, Get Your Money, Get Your Chicks for Free. Or no, was it? The first one on the European MTV, because European MTV was different than USA MTV. I think it was launched in... What a great era that was to live in when they had the live shows in Times Square, and you could see the Times Square out there, and they had the MTV.
Are you kidding me?
They were amazing.
MTV's the only channel that has done everything it can in my lifetime to ruin music.
No, I thought when MTV1 came on and they were interviewing all, and you could see how mad the actual people were, you know, just in front of an audience, and they were raw, talented people, and they were just, you know, here's one I always remember. Eminem was in the studio, right, and he done it, whatever it was. I don't know who it was. It was one of the most famous guys who would interview. Zacky's name is, I think he was one of the most famous ones. But Eminem decided to put a moustache on and go off on up in the middle of New York with a picnic basket full of strawberries and just hand them to people. And all these, you know, there was one secret camera going walk around with him. He had the camera in the fucking thing as well. And people hadn't a fucking clue, but he was ripping the piss out of, you know, normal people. It's almost saying to them, you do know that you're asleep. You're asleep. You haven't a fucking clue what's going on. Would you like a fucking strawberry that's in my fucking, you know, basket? But he done it in a way where it was allowed on MTV. You wouldn't see that on MTV now, would you? You wouldn't see that kind of shit now. It'd be like more, you know, for another channel. But I thought them days were good. But, you know, music-wise, everyone became a musician then. But a nice-looking musician, like Mini Vanilli. They were nice-looking dudes that couldn't sing a fucking word, but they were only put there because of MTV to put.
That's back in the day when MTV actually would play music for that first decade or so. Then they forgot that they were music television. They totally forgot the name of their channel and started showing like reality shows and shit. Yeah. They've done everything in my lifetime to ruin music.
They gave us Jackass.
They did give us Jackass, but that's not music.
No, but Jackass and Dirty Sanchez and all them other, there's some other ones that they gave us. But they gave us Beavis and Butthead.
They gave us Dirty Grandpa.
They gave us Dirty Grandpa. They gave us Johnny Knoxville. You know, we can give
Johnny Knoxville. Yep.
We can. They gave us Steve-O.
You gotta love the Beavis and Butthead. I give you that. Beavis and Butthead was the shit.
They were the shit, man. They were
Mad Max and
You
remember Crazy Max? What was that other one they used to? Oh, Aeon Flux.
Yes.
Aeon Flux. That was the other one.
You know what? They bring you back someday. You know.
Man.
But you also remember fucking what was that guy's name again? That was before MTV. Jimmy Hitton. No, Jimmy. The guy that looked like a fucking plastic dude. Max Headroom. Max. I think he's Jim Carrey reincarnated before Jim Carrey was even there. And I think, you know, some of it might be just based on that fucking character because there's similarities with them too.
You seen Spaceballs?
Oh, yes.
I love that version of that character in Spaceballs, the one that's with Pizza the Hut.
Pizza the Hut.
Pizza the Hut is coming for you.
Oh, God.
On that note, my friend, I've got to get off here. Okay. I got some work I got to get done for tonight's show. So,
God bless you. What show is it? So let us know what show.
Animal Human Hybrids tonight.
Ooh. Have you watched this? Have you watched the program? It's called Sweet Tooth. It's on Netflix. That's about animal hybrids.
I have not watched it. I know what it is. I know what it's about. I know the main character is supposed to be Pan and/or Sununos. Like I get it. I haven't actually watched the series yet.
A friend of mine's watching it, and it's very good. There's also another movie on Netflix called OJ something. It's about a big pig that the geo-engineer. The food is rationing. You know, we need to take. You know, obviously there's so much population, so they make animals bigger. And there's one made in China, and they live in. It's actually a massive pig. I think it's OJ something. It's got
OJ Pigson. No,
OJ Pigson. It's got Jake Gyllenhaal's in it. Just look for his movies. It's one of his latest movies.
Gotcha.
So he's in it anyway. But it's interesting. It's a hybrid, and they actually make the food bigger. So that's what the whole thing is, just to make animals bigger. But you know, a pig becomes friend of you know, because pigs are meant to be one of the friendly. So it's also about the hybrid animals. So good luck with the show. That'd be great. Sounds like a great show, man. You go get yourself some coffee. You go get yourself some coffee and get some food into you. God bless you. Thank you so much for tonight. It's been amazing as always.
It's a pleasure, my friend. I do apologize that we haven't had these recently. I've been
all right,
really
man.
stupid busy lately.
It's all right. Last one just wasn't time enough. We were meant to do one about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and you know, but this one we'll make them regular again. So you know,
Absolutely. I'm starting to slow back down a little bit. I mean, business wise, we're good. I've got all my positions covered now, so I should have a little extra time again to start joining you again and you know,
nice.
doing these shows, because I ran out of time, man. Not gonna lie, I
Yeah.
straight ran out of hours in a week.
Yeah, I know.
Not in a day, in a whole bloody week. So,
I get
my
you.
friend, you take care. We will be back soon with another episode of me and Mark together. Guys, I really appreciate you guys coming, hanging out with us. All 8, 9 of you that have been hanging out. Hobbs, Tommy, Tell the Truth, JJ, the only 3 that have actually, Voynich, only 4 that have actually chatted.
Yeah.
So, shout out to you guys. I love you guys. I love you, Mark. You guys have a great one. Take care. And I'll see you all later. Remember, stay awake, but dare to dream. Bye, everybody.
See you later, brother. See you later. God bless you, man. God bless you.
God bless.
So, see you later. See you later, Daddy. Bye, bye, Daddy. God bless you. God bless you. That was great. I'm Gerry. Brilliant. What a great guest. It's always great to have Gerry on. I know the title of the show is Mandela Effects. As you can see, we have some residue anyway, so there's always residue there, and we did show some. And we kind of went a little bit onto the what do we say? Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. So, thank you so much. Much love. But that was, you know, it was great. What a great guest. What a great guest. And you know, we could talk. We could talk about the UFO for ages. We could talk. Just keep going and expand on different ideas and different concepts of what's going on in reality. That'd be a long fucking show, wouldn't it? So I have my as you can see, Clockwork Orange, because that's orange. Well, I think it used to be, and I've got my Clockwork Orange t-shirt on just for the occasion. I don't know why. It was just a clean t-shirt I picked up, and it's just nice. Just thought I'd point it out that it's a Clockwork Orange, and it's not the inner versions of how I work. It's not my cogs and all that stuff. Ooh. Anyway, I'm going to stay on for a little bit just to have a chat. I have a couple of joints here to roll. We've been on for about an hour, so I'll stay on for an hour and a half, do an hour and a half, so another 20 minutes left. So the Mandela effects. I'm going to get deep. Oh no, I'm going to get deep. Deep. Mandela effect. Ooh. Let's have a look at my book. Oh, there's another one. There is another world, but it's in this one. That's interesting. I just picked up this book, and there's the quote I got. There is another world, but it's in this one. Wow. First one I've came across. I just literally opened the book, so there you go. That's what we're talking about right there now. There is another world, but it's in this one. This is a book of just quotes that will change your life. All the separate fictions add up to joint reality. Yes, absolutely. Some interesting quotes, and that's a book. It's quite good. Just little small ones. A quotation at the right moment is like bread to the famished. True. It can enlighten your mood. It can make you feel a bit better. That's false. actually want to talk about something, but it's totally gone out of my mind. I wonder what it was. Oh yeah. So this week, today is Thursday, tomorrow's Friday. I'll be doing a couple of remixes tomorrow. I'd say what I'm going to try to do is get a couple of songs done every Friday and release some remixes every Friday. Just do a couple of songs. As I'm still working on that CD. This one I'm still doing some tracks off of this one. I do have some other ones to come, so that's what I'll be doing tomorrow, and then Saturday I'm not too sure. But what are you doing over the weekend? Is there anything? Is there anything else? Is there anything you're doing over the weekend? Are you having friends over? Are you going out or what? I'm happy I didn't miss you and Gerry live, and of course Alan and friends. No worries, JJ. Good to have you here, man. Fucking grinder. Pull the arms off it. They pull the arms off it. That fucking grinder pull the arms off it. Today is Friday too. Is it? Is it 2 Fridays? Not yet. Not yet. Not where you are, Gerry. Or Vintage. Vintage, if I'm correct, you're 1 hour ahead of me. And it's only 10:15 here. So it's only 11:15. So don't lie, it's not Friday there yet. It'll be Friday in 45 minutes for you. Or are you 2 hours ahead of me? Or where are you? Are you in the mental institution still? Time doesn't exist there, you know. Time does not exist. Almost 45 minutes. You've got 45 minutes left of Thursday. What are you going to do with them 45 minutes? Are you going to sit there and listen to me talk bullshit? Or are you going to be productive and sit there and listen to me talk bullshit? Either way. Either way. Almost 45. Well, you're almost 45, man. You don't look a day over 20. Especially with that beautiful tan you have accumulated in the mental institution. And the lovely gels you have. You know, the weight that you put on since you've been in that mental institution. You don't look a day over 20, man. God bless you. God bless you all for being here, being there where you are, watching me here where I am, talking shite. Then that's me talking to my other version of myself, by the way. Oh, let me see if you can say something. I'm not saying that. You can fuck off. Now, see, if I do that, people go, oh, he's talking to demons. No, I'm talking to the other versions of myself. If the rest of them would shut up. No. Can't hear it. Can't hear it. Can't hear what I'm saying. I can't hear what I'm saying. They only got good ever. There's too many of them in there. Every now and again, they all go to sleep, and there's 1 or 2, and we can then differentiate between the 2 of them, which one it is, and go, well, you want to talk, or will I talk? And usually he talks. Certified. As soon as I get my certificate, I will put it here, and it will be like, as we said last night, this certifies that Mark Fewings is absolutely 100% nuts, as a bag of nuts that used to contain frogs, but no longer contains frogs because frogs don't exist because they were eaten by things that eat frogs. And now that we're just reading on here, we realise that Mark's just written this, and it's not actually a certificate. He's just crazy, and he lives in a world of shit. Did you follow that there? So it works out that I actually read all that, and it's all just a game, and I am actually sitting in a 4 foot by 4 foot room in a mental institution, look just like Varnish. I think 2 cells down from Varnish, and we're all broadcasting live from one mental institution to another. So from inside this mental institution to the one that's outside the walls, which we call the world. Hello. Something like that. And she'd be locked up for less. If a doctor heard me say that shit now, he'd be like, do you know what? Maybe we'll have another look at your old brain there. Which one? Which one do you want to have a go this time? Oh, I got a lot of video to show. So did the strawberry full moon out last night or today? Today was it? Tonight? You know, I can't see the moon. The moon's not even out. Oh, fucking moon. Some people don't believe the moon's in there. Oh, I don't think it is anymore. I can't see the moon in my sky. Can you see the moon where you are? Can you see the moon? So yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. I think we're gonna do Alan, Batman, Jedi Batman. Alan the Jedi Batman. You stand down now, Alan. And then we'll do Batman there. Taking out photographies. And then send it to Batman. Ah! Oh, that's the guys. Right, I think I'm gonna have to go anyway. Cause that's it. 1:22, 22, 22. Wow, that's interesting. So yeah, we'll call it an evening. I want to say thank you so much to everyone that's been here tonight, and thank you so much for our guest Gerry. Dark Wolf Den. His channel is linked in I think it's pinned in the chat as well. So please do subscribe to his channel if you already haven't already. And do what you do best this week. You know, go do what you do. I'll probably be releasing a few other new videos here, there over the next couple of weeks or next couple of hours, because it's been you know, I've loads of videos to upload, but I might just remix it. We'll see what happens. So, a guy walks into a psychiatrist wearing one plastic wrap for shorts. The shrink says, "Big." You see, clearly see your nuts. Let's see. Well, that's a good one. We'll leave it at that one. That's funny good. Right, I'm going to go now and do my thing. I'll roll a couple of joints and make some music. Keep an eye out for some new videos coming soon enough. God bless you, JJ. God bless you, Varnish. God bless you, Hobbs. And Tommy, tell the truth. God bless you. And everyone else that's been in here watching and that's been in the chat, you're amazing. God bless you. Yeah, many. I'll say God bless you. I'm just taking it off. Right. I'm going to go get a coffee and do what I do. And I thank you so much. I will see you soon. Bye bye. Say goodbye, Alan. Goodbye, Alan.